Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast. Today we're joined by Ben. Bit of a different one still. We're still obviously doing these linking into the Baton of Hope, which is coming to Derby and Derbyshire on the 13th of September. Ben's supporting us with the production of this through the digital media, so videography, photography. So it's really helping us capture sort of the essence of what the tour's about and what's happening on the tour. So really lucky to be joined by Ben today. We're going to be discussing a bit around his lived experience of poor mental health, coming out, and just sort of that surrounding factors of, you know, what's that like, and yeah, really want to help him sort of share his story. So as always, a bit more than usual, but yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got our own Derbyshire County Council mental health and suicide prevention team social media, but also check out the Baton of Hope ones as well. So ours is at DCC MHSP, and the Baton of Hope one is just Baton of Hope Derbyshire, because that's where you can get all the information about the tour, carrying the baton, and sort of how you can get involved on the whole sort of route and events running up to that. So, long intro out of the way. Hiya, Ben, you all right?
Yeah, all good.
Good. We'll just start off with, how are you doing out of 10 today?
I'm about of 8 because I'm in two minds because I like, obviously talking about mental health and, especially with the people I know and trust. I know how important it is, but also how public this is going to be. It's just like,
yeah, it is really scary, yeah. And I think I've become numb to, I guess, when I see it out there, you don't always realise, obviously, the reach it gets.
Yeah.
But it is nice when you do get those positive messages and comments of hearing how people have really appreciated hearing someone else's story. But an 8's still a solid one. I feel like I barely get above 7, so no, I'm joking. That's, really good. So just to, I guess, start us off, if you wouldn't mind just giving us, a bit of an intro to you, obviously how we came to meet through the Buxton event and stuff. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing.
Yeah, so I'm relatively young compared to how everybody else thinks I am, which still to this day I'm still perplexed at some of the guesses that people have of how old I am. But I've just turned 22, which is kind of crazy. I've made it this far, but in other sense it's like, damn, I've got so much to learn and so much ahead of me, but I'm not there yet, and that's where I am at in my head at the moment. But I mean, I've moved over to Manchester to do a master's in photography. I've dropped out now due to how busy I've become with working a full-time job and also balancing a self-employed business, and as well as supporting with the Baton of Hope and doing all this stuff. But I graduated from Hallam, first class honours, which was probably an amazing highlight to have already. And just gone around with the country with B-Show and been able to go on the tour with Jodie Ownsley and met Jeremy Vine at the London show. It's crazy how much the previous year has grown, but also I've had so much opportunities of development and growth within myself, and it's just been a fantastic year. 2024, but mentally to get to this point has been a very, very, very long journey. I've been at rock bottom many times, and had the thoughts of killing myself and whatnot, and it's that time period is just a dark blur.
I guess so. Going back probably quite a few years. Obviously, you're only 22, so God, how long ago? I was only 6 years. 6 years ago for me, and obviously a lot's changed. So I completely agree with you. I think looking forwards and stuff, so much is going to change. But going back, I guess, to probably school, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
From you, How was it for you? We joked earlier on, didn't we? Now I'm going to get this early about being ginger, and coming out and stuff. But it must have had an added effect as well. I'm sure everyone can remember the ginger kid at school.
Yeah, I mean it's always seen as the outcast, and that's how I try to remember it as, is just being outcasted because of my hair, and it's a bit crazy how it is. But yeah, it's a lot of times it's like, oh, I can't say it, but
No.
you know, you know what the two
know.
words we're gonna say, but
Yeah.
it's it was difficult, like especially like I had times where I was, had loads of friends, and then times everybody switched and turned on me just simply because I was ginger or I was a bit weird or whatnot. Just the constant trying to fit in, but that just didn't obviously work.
When I guess when you were at school and stuff, now you're out, out as gay, but at school, what was it like for you? I guess what were those thoughts and feelings and stuff when you were going along that journey?
I mean, it was difficult because I obviously had to try and figure out how I could fit in within the school system, but also to try and figure out myself as well. It was really tough to just figure all that out. I mean, it took many sessions with CAMs and whatnot to try and build up my mental health, but give it a year and I'll be back into the CAM system, and I'll be there doing the sessions and over and over again, just going back, but just never really working. It only took until the end of year 9 before I went into the Thrive system of trying to rework how thoughts and anxiety and goes on in your head, and like trying to work it against itself. In that sense, it's a very difficult topic to try and explain, but through going through that system and coming out over the side of it, that's where I got the confidence to accept myself in that sense.
Did you always know you were gay, or was some of the times where you were going through camps because you just didn't feel right, or was it more, do you feel like your mental health got worse because you didn't know how to sort of manage those emotions or understand what they were, or did you understand what they were and then that's what made you feel worse?
I think for primary school, the question of me being gay was not there, obviously. So that wasn't the issue during primary school. I mean, it was just obviously because of the hair and just how crazy I was. But and then from like puberty onwards, I always had that naive sense of, I'll eventually start liking women, and it never happened. I'm still waiting. But no, it just never just came about. I mean, obviously what I saw portrayed in the media was not who I was, and that was the most difficult thing for me to try and overcome. To some degree, it still happens to today. And it's just it's still frustrating to see how much we haven't learned, but how much we have at the same time.
We've come a long way, but still visually you tend to see, like, even in adverts, mum, dad, 2 kids, and stuff like that, and that seems to be the way it's still being represented and stuff. And it must have been hard, I guess, at that time where social media was booming, wasn't it? I guess digital media was growing a lot, YouTube growing a lot, so there's a lot of influencing factors, wasn't there? And it must be really difficult to look out there, and probably quite isolated as well.
Definitely.
Feeling that way.
Yeah. I mean, especially it's like that time frame where like all the gay YouTubers that I saw was always doing some makeup tutorial or nails or whatever, and that was completely removed from what I was doing at the time. It's like I was playing football, doing all the quote unquote manly boys stuff, but obviously it wasn't just who I was. It wasn't what the media was portraying that I was. But like you said, it was just very isolating, and like I said, it took me until going through Thrive was the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to own it and be like, that's who I am. And it just came to the point where I just like, I can't deny it anymore. It's just, I've tried to fit in, I've tried to have girlfriends, it just never felt right. I've tried to do this, that and other, and it just doesn't work.
How was that, I guess, process for you, when, especially if it was, tried to have girlfriends and stuff, that must have been really hard for you to feel like you were trying to push yourself into a mould that wasn't you, to then yeah, when was that change where you were like, I can't do this anymore, I just need to be me?
I think it was like when I had the girlfriends during like year 8 and year 9. It just didn't feel right. It was not like I would hold hands and stuff, and it just feel weird and just like an
Ew.
ick. Yeah, basically, it was just like no, it's not.
No, it must be really weird.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, it was.
Yeah, yeah. How and are you now? I guess. Yeah. How did you become comfortable? And if you are comfortable now, what's that journey like? And if not, is there still moments?
There's still moments, but I think there's two halves of it. One, like I'm comfortable with like seeing myself later in life, having a husband, having kids and whatnot. But I'm not comfortable with the fact of like keep openly sharing and keep saying it, like going over and over thing. Like like I don't know if I told you before I sent you the video, but I was very, very standoffish. It's like just messaging you saying, "Oh yeah, here's my like coming out video," because I just like I don't know. It's just I just find it weird, and it's just so difficult to do.
Do you think there's a need to, we spoke about this before.
Yeah.
So like none of my mates that I can remember anyway have ever come out to me that are gay, and I don't know if that's obviously the friendship we have that they've not felt like they needed to, which is good. But yeah, did it help you coming out and doing all of that, or do you feel like it should just be that social norm? Because I never assume now. I like to think I don't ever assume anyway. And I still think there's still that society thing, isn't there? Like when we met, I didn't assume. To be fair, I did think you were gay anyway when we first met, but that's just my gaydar on point, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think you're the only one who could like figure it out, but I don't.
Yeah, but
no.
It must be really hard. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm trying to say is it must just be really hard and really draining to keep saying you're gay. Because I would never keep saying to people, "Oh yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight." It's just I've never had to do it, and I never will have to do it.
Yeah.
And I guess for you to have to do that all the time, it must be so hard. And is there the need for it? Because I would never expect you, if you didn't want to, to say I'm gay. Like I'd just expect you one time to probably say me and my partner so and so, or whatever the time is. Like, I guess that's sort of. I don't know. Yeah, it just seems weird, doesn't it? I think sometimes.
I mean, I think for me, the whole reason I made that video for my dissertation for uni was one to like publicly say, yeah, I'm gay, because I haven't before that point. I hadn't put on any social media because I don't have to, but I just didn't want to.
Yeah.
But the other thing was to talk about the stereotypes. Like I have the notion. No, people have the notion of me of them saying, "Oh, you're the straightest gay guy I know," and that to me is like,
that's not great.
I don't know how to take it.
Yeah,
and every time I've been like throughout uni and like even at work, like people forget.
Yeah,
and like I don't want to constantly remind them because I don't want to like have to keep forcing it on people. But it's weird. It's hard.
It must be. I guess it must. I'd probably find it quite. If it was the other way around and I had to keep saying to people, "No, I'm straight."
Yeah.
"No, I'm straight." Like that would wear me down, I think, a lot. And for you, it must be hard, especially if you have told people and then they forget all for whatever reason and stuff. And I think the whole notion around the stereotypical gay person and stuff is just so. I'd like to think so far removed now, because more people are feeling comfortable coming out as gay, or like how many footballers have and rugby players and stuff. And it's still sad to know that there is still that stereotyping going on, that it is that
and like just going on from that, it was just literally the notion of being the straightest gay guy is just, I don't know really how to take it. I mean, it's just like one part of me is like, oh, it's a compliment, but the other's like, what?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because you're just being you.
Yeah.
Like you're not like trying to.
I don't want to be
alpha or more masculine, or like you're just being you. So to have it,
and that comes into like how I see myself as a man as well. It's just like it really like causes some dilemma at times, like especially when I'm like trying to go like on dating apps and whatnot and just trying to find somebody. I'm just like, I don't know how to see myself because I don't think people see that of me, and I'm just it's like it is a double-edged sword on how I see myself, especially in the date, like trying to find somebody.
Yeah, that I guess mentally that must be hard as well, because I guess because you're more, if you are more masculine,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you can't be gay.
Mhm.
Like, it's, it shouldn't affect it, but obviously it does, and there's still that stereotyping and stuff. Yeah, that must be difficult. I guess, yeah, when you were coming out and stuff, and you sent your video that you did for uni, which was really good. We could pop a link in if you wanted to share it. But that experience, I guess, of coming out, you're going through puberty as well.
Yep.
Really hard time.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like? Because it didn't go wrong for you at all, did it?
No, it went catastrophically wrong.
There was a few moments, wasn't there, where it wasn't great.
No.
Would you mind, just sharing? It's for other people's learning, I guess, especially with technology, of how it can go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in the dawn of like the social media and stuff, like that time period, it was very volatile.
Yeah.
To like be a part of and like grow up and trying to understand it and like learn it as you're growing up as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mistakes, obviously, that teenagers make.
Yeah.
And I feel like those mistakes are amplified through social media.
Yeah.
And I feel like my mistake was coming out over social media to some people. Maybe because I couldn't face it face to face. But literally the first time that I did it over social media was to an account of my friends who got hacked. And then from then on, I was like, oh, right, because that account's been hacked, then they're going to go tell all the school and, so I've got to like try and figure out who it was so I can like try and do something about it. I don't know what mindset I was in to go through with that, but like did it loads, talked to so many people, like investigated it, found out who it was, and like them saying, oh, because I posted it on my story. I posted it on my story, and that's when she started and that's when they started saying, oh, like if you don't delete it off your story, then I'm going to go tell all the school and whatnot and make your life a living hell and stuff. So obviously then I like had the realization of I've like gone way too far with this in the sense of like, okay, I've publicly put the person who did it out there on my story and like totally forgetting that, oh, I've come out to that person over their account and they know something that I don't want people to know yet. And so that was like really, really difficult to try and mend. And as I got
how did it feel? Yeah, sorry, just while all that was happening, like can't even begin to think what must have been going through your head at the time and stuff. But especially at that age, for me, I just think everyone's gonna know.
Yeah,
everyone's gonna know, and I'm gonna what? It's.
I mean, I think the main feeling I had was doom. That okay, I just got comfortable with a friend group and with people that I knew, and like started to really settle down. Because like this was in year 10, so I've gone through the 5 program, like actively working through it, and this was, I think it was after the program finished with with them. So at that time I was like, oh, this is like the best mentally I felt for my whole life. And that's when I got knocked back down to like 0 again, because that whole feeling of getting excluded and like the dread came rushing back, and that was a real tough time to try and use the concepts that I've learned, but also not try and fall back into the old habits and stuff. And it was just horrible, just like constantly dreading okay, what if this person says it, or what if this, like, I wanted to have the control of telling people where and when.
Yeah.
But also I didn't want people to go out there and just...
Well, people are horrible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially at school. People are, you know, hopefully it's got better now, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's still bad. But yeah, I feel like, even though so you're same age as my brother, and like, yeah, it's like, it was hard, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with the social media and stuff. So I bet that dread, like you said, of it just, because even one screenshot, luckily they didn't, did they? But
I can't remember
that
if
would
they
have,
did, but...
you know, but that could have just gone everywhere,
Yeah.
couldn't it? And it taken that control away from you.
Yeah. And like I remember, like, they went to somebody and told two of my friends that I wasn't ready to tell, because it was like, no, they were both lads, so I was just like, wasn't ready for them to know yet, because it was mainly like girls I came out to, because it was just easier that way.
Comfortable, yeah.
Like, yeah, I just felt more comfortable because I wasn't there for the relationship or whatnot, and like, I think the friendship at the time was very secure.
Yeah.
So obviously, when they came to me, it's like, oh, so and so's told me that you're gay and stuff. Is that true? Yes, I am. I'm going to go speak to the head of year now, because I can't have that. So literally ran up to the head of year, bumped into said person who hacked the account and leaked the information, and tore into them.
Yeah.
And then ran up and explained what happened and stuff in like a fit of anxiety and proper panic attack state, and like was literally removed from classes for a good, well, for that day, but I can't remember if I was there for the rest of the week or whatnot. But I literally said to him, like, I'm not ready to come out to my parents yet.
Yeah.
I don't want that incident for that reason, why my mum and dad knew how I came out. Because I don't know. I mean, obviously I knew 100% that they would be okay, supportive and whatnot, because me and my mum and dad have been through thick and hell with me, with my mental health journey and whatnot, and like constantly like caring for me whilst I've been in tears, or you know, just giving that unconditional love all the time. Is you know, it wasn't the question of, oh, they're gonna kick me out of the house and whatnot. It was just I didn't know how to do it, and like how to come out to them. Like I said, they'd be fine, but it was just, it's hard.
Hard, isn't it? Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. What? Obviously, you know, before Thrive and stuff, was it the Chesterfield one? You were with the Chesterfield Football Club.
I was bouncing everywhere, so I had a little stint in Sheffield Wednesday's academy whilst I was very young. Playing for different teams, was playing for Staving Manners Welfare until the team collapsed, and then bounced around a few teams after that, and then ultimately gave it up at COVID. Just because of my A levels and like the stresses.
Did you find it helpful then playing?
I always attribute football and being active as a good a good way to clear my head. I mean, like like if I'm in a anxiety or just angry for whatever reason, I just take football out and just kick the living crap out of it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And it's a good way to just get that pent up energy out as well.
Yeah. So I guess before, well, we keep jumping a lot, but before all of that, when your mental health was bad, you know, going through camps and stuff, what was it like for you? What did it? I guess what did it look like for you? Did it help? And what? You know, you said Thrive really helped, but was camps, I guess, just more of a cycle for you?
Yeah, it literally was a cycle. It was, okay, come in, talk about the feelings, and then go off, but it just wasn't great at all. Yeah.
What did it, I guess, what was your mental health like at the time as well? How did it present? Was it just anxiety, or, you know, how?
It was mainly like the anxiety and depression, like, and the self-confidence.
Yeah.
Like, all that was, like, the depression and self-confidence was at an all-time low during primary school and, like, early stages of secondary school. Like, I spent a long period of time where I just had a buzz cut hair just because of like how people was like talking about my hair and like being a can't swear, but just like really
just horrible
about it and stuff. And like it was just a cycle of like coming in and then going out and then going back in and stuff.
It must be really difficult. What's jumping a bit ahead then, so after A levels, while you were doing your A levels, it was COVID, wasn't it? Okay, same as my brother. What was that whole sort of time period like for you guys? Because like you must, I don't know if it's the same. So my brother was 18 in COVID, so I couldn't go out and stuff. It was just like really isolating and crappy. What was it like for you going through that time? Did you find any, I guess, solitude in it, not having to go into school or feeling safe, or because you'd come out, did you feel okay? Like what was it like?
The whole perception of like me being out, I don't have an issue with. I don't have an issue with me being gay with myself. Like times I do, but I feel like that's more afflicted to if I'm like not trying to fit into the stereotype, which I shouldn't do. Like I should just live my life without worrying about that. But like now and again, it still creeps back in. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that because that's gay. But like, obviously, that's not the best way of thinking for things. But no, COVID was tough for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, with my family being NHS, it was hard for him. I mean, my mum contracted COVID when April of 2020, and that was a very high anxiety time for me, just with how she was with COVID, and like it really made the whole like lockdown real. Seeing how worse my mum got. I mean, she went into A&E for a day or two just because of how much it deteriorated her health and still affects her to today with the long COVID symptoms and whatnot. So obviously that was a tough time, just anxiety wise, of the uncertainty of is things going to change and she's going to go real downhill or what. But on the other side of it, it was fantastic, just like going out and enjoying nature, going on for walks with my pa and whatnot and my brother, and just going out there and just enjoying the quiet life. And I do still regret not like being fully into photography at that time, because there's so much photos that I see that pop up like 2020 lockdown and stuff. I'm just like, I could have done that, but I didn't because I wasn't at that level yet. But no, some of the photos I have in lockdown, I of like going on with walks and stuff, like I chose wholeheartedly.
And then after that, it was uni.
Yep.
So I guess your uni experience, how did that differ from school? I feel like uni you can pick your own groups more.
Yes.
Obviously you're that bit older, so mentally you may be in a better position to manage your mental health and you can make your own decisions to help it better, can't you? How was that?